Hey friends, welcome to Moxie Gardens. I'm Mike Toomey, and today we are going to plant up some barberry. It's going to be a very good addition to the garden. If you were seeing yesterday's video, we went to the nursery, a local nursery. Very blessed. We have, I think, two main nurseries here, but they have different branches throughout the metro area. Gosh dang, I'm spoiled. They are very, very nice. Very nice. In fact, the one we went to yesterday, we get to drive around in golf carts. That's how big that one is. But yeah, we found a lot of things that I think are going to be interesting for this garden. And plus, we planted up towards the end of yesterday's video. We planted up a few more planters, add some heuchera in the ground. It's going to be a really good showstopper. Maybe not so much this year, but leading into the next few years. Plus, we've had the last 2 days of rain. That being said, so that area, that pump, the pond area where it spills over, I have to have it dry. And because it rained and I didn't cover it up, shame on me, but I didn't get it covered up, so it is wet, but in order to add that foam. But I did go ahead and run the hose over there from the pump, and we'll show you what it's essentially going to look like, hopefully, in the end. And then an update on HeiHei. It's my bad. I edited it out yesterday, but at the very end when I was recapping, I shared that that I was checking on her. So HeiHei had went to Jessie when she got home, and she was welcoming her home, and her hind leg, when she jumped up, she snapped it. So tibia or fibia, we'll ask Jessie, but something. So anyways, we avoided surgery. That was the best outcome. Actually, she was getting ready to go in for surgery, and they did another look, and they were like, hang on, we can splint this up or air cast it. It's so cute. So I don't think I'm legally allowed to use other names, I don't know. But we kind of took HeiHei's name off of a certain animated video. Just research HeiHei and you'll know what it is. But it's basically a chicken. And so the vet put little chicken cast on her, or air cast, or maybe it's a split. I don't know. I'm probably butchering all that. But anyway, we'll get an update on her, and then we're going to immediately get into planting some things. You can see it's starting to get a little bit darker again in the background. But hey, I'll take all the rain because we're about to go into June, and we ain't getting no rain around here. So it'll be all hand watering and doing our best just to keep the garden alive. Okay, let's go find HeiHei. Then we'll get some stuff in the ground. I want to share with you the pump. And then Jessie and I may go get fish, but it won't be in this video. But it's time to get fish. So let's go find HeiHei and see if she's up for a little bit of video time. Okay, this is our main focus today. But in short order, we'll get back to this. I need to share with you guys something. So on that video towards the end, when I was editing it out, I completely spaced it off. But little Heister hurt herself. Okay, so Jessie came home on Monday evening, and Hey was super excited, as all dogs and puppies are, and was jumping up and down greeting her. And when doing so, when she landed on those little hind legs, she snapped one. Tibia or fibia?
Or tibia.
Tibia. Okay, so she what kind of fracture? Spiral?
Spiral.
Okay,
Spiral.
So she has a spiral fracture, which, now that we're looking back on it, when we took her to the vet, they told us that she was going to have a surgery that was going to be buku money, which is fine, but it was going to be way more than you would imagine. So then they called her back after a second opinion and whatnot, and told us that she actually broke it in a way that was really good. So if it was going to break, she broke it the right way. Anyway, so they gave us this little air caster thing, and then so this IV bag, they kind of rig up, and you just kind of slide it right on over. Yep, just like that. And when she goes potty or goes out in the yard, so we have to keep her calm. So we got her on medication, and she's seen the vet on Tuesday. So she's still in that loopy stage right now. Of course, even if she wasn't, they tend to sit like this, and they're really comfortable, like any way that looks uncomfortable. But anyway, so we have to keep this dry 6 to 8 weeks. Therefore, her spring and early summer are out of the books. She can't come to the yard playing around because we got to keep that dry, and she can't get it snagged on stuff. And with all the little critters and whatnots, she'll want to come out and play. And so she's gonna miss out on her first spring, first/summer in the garden, but she's gonna get to spend a lot of quality time with the family because everybody hurts about it. So yesterday I had the day with her. Jesse took the day off today to be with her, and then Jesse's mother's coming down as we speak to be with her tomorrow, and then of course the weekend will work out with everybody else. But that's the update. Little Hayster hurt herself. How adorable is this? As uncomfortable it is, she's loving it right now. And let me tell you, I think she's probably going to take advantage of it. Even when we think that, even when you think that these little creatures aren't as smart maybe at times, you would think peanut butter was, gold right now. She's loving that. She wants her pills all the time. Anyway, hey, can you tell them bye-bye?
Bye.
Can you tell them bye-bye? So I'm sure everybody's wishing you the best of luck. She's so adorable. And that's not just for video's sake. Fur babies mean a lot to a lot of people, and we're no different. That's an extraordinary little gift for our family. So hopefully it all works out, and I guess they're susceptible to those types of things. Okay, so moving on, and I think we got a winner here. We are going to pop these little barberries in here. So this is Orange Rocket Barberry. I hope they just popping off the screen, especially with the sidewalk, the background. It should probably, I promise they're exactly the way it's probably coming across. These can get 4 feet by 2 feet wide. I'm gonna treat them, I'll take you to the area that we're gonna put them. I'm gonna treat them no different than my boxwoods, the boxwoods that we've have anywhere. In fact, just on Grandma's bench back there where we were just talking to HeiHei and Jesse, the boxwoods, we let them grow. However, if one branch gets way larger than the rest, we'll cut it back. But that's what we're doing here. Everybody else is doing the spheres and the formal look, and that's okay. I love those gardens. Actually, I might have fallen into this simply by being lazy or too scared to cut back. You ever been just too scared to take a chance? I kind of think that's probably where I ended up, and then I'm like, you know what? It actually looks kind of cool. So that's where we're at with these boxwoods. Just letting them grow as natural as they would if they were just planted and nobody or just came up from seedlings and nobody ever touched them. They were out in the wild. But we're going to move those barberry, and I won't lie, this is a perfect opportunity. Remember when I told you the sun kind of comes right off of there? We've got it just perfect spot where it's just about right there, but as the summer progresses, we're going to be right there. No kidding, we'll be almost right there with all the sun, and then the sun pretty much is just dappled that way. But back to this barberry, I'm not gonna lie to you guys. If I put these 5 in here and it's not enough, we're definitely going back. Maybe not for this video, but I'm definitely going back in here and we're going to add some more. And I might not even go with annuals this season. Remember, we do annuals sometimes through here. I may not even do annuals. That color is so gorgeous that I may just do a run right through here and just let it flow. Just let it flow like a river. I absolutely love it. So I'll keep the sedums right there. And then I think we're just going to polka dot it in here and see how it turns out. In fact, I think if I even did 2 there, 1 there, maybe even 2 right here. I'm trying to stay away from a formal look, but at the same time, I need it to look really good. I bet I'm probably 3 short, to be honest with you. I bet I could add 3 more before we're done. And then I've got some vinca. I want to add some vinca in here. I think a lot of you would agree, if you have vincas, that it's invasive. I've always heard that it's invasive. You need to be able to control it. I'm definitely going to be able to control it. I'm going to keep it in this space. We'll keep it out of here. People say they don't like to be weed eated and mowed, so that it'll, I think, have a tendency to stay back where it needs to be. And then I need to reimagine something right here. I need to come up with just something. The tricky part about coming up with something right there is that we have the moon gate, and I really want the moon gate to just kind of stand on its own, so I don't want any type of hardscape right there. So it's gonna have to be something fun and soft, and not it needs to be floppy, right? It needs to be loose, kind of like the lilies here. I just need it to be just loose, I guess, so to speak. We have another opportunity to add whatever right in this space, and it can even bleed over here. But anyway, let's get these kind of lined out. We'll take a step back and see how it looks. But I think this is going to be such a great view as we look through here. Let's get them in the ground. So it's a little harder to plant and share videos in direct sun, and we're sitting right in the evening in direct sun right now, and that's not even my head shadow there, that's part of the tree. But if you can imagine, this is just going to be a gorgeous look. I wouldn't lie whenever I thought I would probably end up needing more. This looks good right here, but I almost think we could go one here, kind of bring it around over here, a couple here. What do you think? Might even be able to pump one in there, pop a couple in here, and just kind of let them flow through there. Otherwise, look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? I really think that once we get these in the ground and kind of hopefully let the sun go down a little bit, we'll look back on this and just see how gorgeous it is. And then you can imagine black mulch. Once we mulch up, we always use black mulch here, but once we mulch up, it's gonna be really good. I'm gonna come through here and weed this out, but I think right now I'm gonna grab the mower, wait for the sun to go down, and then we'll come back and check it out. And then I still think I have enough time to add some vinca in before the evening's over. Let's get some stuff done. folks, I'm so excited about this. In fact, I'm gonna need to go get some more. This just turned out so well. I'm thinking maybe one right behind that, seed them, and then one off over here, perhaps in front. Maybe in front. I'll have to kind of come into the sedum down here. It turned out so well, and funny that when things work out, they work out in your benefit sometimes, and the sun's shining right through there, shining that little bicycle. That's so much fun. Typically, I'd like to come through here when I do a finished product and add mulch up around here, but I'm gonna need to find something. Help me out. This is gonna get a lot of sun, evening sun. Something cute just to grow up around there. The sedum would be fun. I just don't want it to continue to go through there. I don't want it to be a continuous flow. In fact, I don't even like it that much right there. I'd like to be a rock or something right in the middle of there with something fun, with a little bit of color perhaps, or maybe just the foliage is colored, almost a variegation maybe look. That would just look so much calmer right there in that bicycle. The bicycle was sitting back there, and I thought, well, I'll just move it out of the way. And then I was like, wait, I could put it right there. You know me and my fascination with things from the past. But golly, I think just leave that gap. Sometimes it's, gaps are fine. I can just mulch it in there. And then also too, when you have sedum, I got to tell myself this too. With all the sedum in here, it can handle all the neglect. It could sit in 200 hours of sun if you had it. You can sit there all day. And the reason why I bring that up is whatever I put in here, I need to be cautious of how much water I give it, because the sedum isn't going to want it or it will start to flop. So it's a happy medium. I'm almost to the point on this one back here. I can do a little Chelsea chop and get that back down so it's not flopping later in the fall. But gosh dang it, if maybe whatever we put right here, we just swing through that little gap and around there and in here. Wouldn't that be fun? Something right through there. Just one little C, one little flow of it, and maybe just pop in one more of these red babies in there. Perhaps one more right over here. What would that give us? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That'd still give us odd numbers. That'd look really good. But again, something different than the sedum right here, because I don't want, maybe lamb's ear? Lamb's ear don't need sun. And I've got a continuation of it. Boom, boom, boom. We talked about moving it from the side garden over there on the east side. Oh man, maybe that's it. But will the sedum match up too well with or will the lamb's ear and sedum kind of cancel each other out? I really like the sedum. I want it to pop. I could almost go with a juga in there. Oh mercy, wouldn't that be fun? Just something, the same thing all the way through there. Anyway, we've got this. You could see if you watch the whole video. Clean these stones up. Gosh, they stand out now. Little path of vinca right through here. This will stand so tall and really proud here soon. We talked about, I've moved a little bit further, but we talked about maybe adding one more right there, and then we could do something right here. I think maybe hostas, just a grouping of different hostas. Or, oh, you know what? If I play my hand right, we could do ostrich ferns or some type of ferns, because that's going to get more shade than anything. Geez, the possibilities are right there. So this is kind of a continuation of what we did yesterday. Cancel the shovel out of there. And then I did kind of wet down our pistachio right there. It'll look more like this, but this is a good look. I really like it. And guess what, guys? We talked about me putting in that Spanish moss in there. It actually worked out okay. Nothing took it last night. Nothing took it today. Doesn't mean it won't happen tomorrow. Look at this view. Oh, mercy. Is that a view? And that's exactly what we're looking at. Okay, I should move the shovel because now it's kind of getting on my nerves that it's sitting there. Let me just back up. The sun's playing just well right here. Look at this view. And that's why I built that chicken coop right there. I wanted that, whatever we built back there, to be a focal point. So we had the moon gate. And if you're coming down the stairs or you're walking from the porch in any way, you kind of walk out that moon gate, and then something, once you enter through that moon gate, it pulls you through. This is so much fun. Look at it's all coming together. I can even continue to back up. Look at this. Look at the azaleas. Mercy. And then if we just continue, we're gonna add some stuff in here around this driftwood. We can just keep going back. Look at this. That beautiful gate with the sun on it. Jeez. I still need to get a planter with some color in there. Something with a lot of color, like a pop. Or maybe, I don't know, maybe something red. Maybe caladiums. Caladiums or begonias. Ooh, begonias would look really good in there as well. Jeez, look at all this color. But this is where I was talking about taking that lamb's hair. It's actually performing really well, and I don't get very much sun right through here. Maybe I get more than I think. Look at this. Here's another one of those lilies we talked about yesterday that will end up blooming and then kind of fading up. But I love how it just stays so strong and tall right there. If you guys know, you know, but that's my favorite perennial, the Solomon seal. I really, really like that. Not even for the blooms. Right now it looks a little bit different because we got some pollen from this pine above us. Look at this. Let me see if I can capture this in the video. Watch this. Look at that. Can you see that? Jeepers. Guys, it's really coming together. Look at this. Just imagine if you're walking in here for the first time or the 100th time, there's something to look at every time, something new. This is such a gorgeous look. Hey, and guess what? My shovel's still sitting there. Look at this. I'm not even supposed to be taking you on a tour. I'm gonna save that for another video when I'm poor and can't plant something. Oh, nope, we do need to make it over there because remember, I told you guys I was gonna share with you the pond. I'm glad I remembered that. My mother-in-law just showed up so she can watch HeiHei tomorrow. Look at the peonies. Oh, mercy. Look at this. But you can see the hose is just kind of sitting in there for right now. That hose will sit back. Let me let me draw it back a little bit because my finger will be fat in there. But right back there, and the water will spill into there and then over here. But that's the general idea. Somebody asked me what these lilies are. You know what? I don't know. Water lilies, that's all I know. And they're purple. They're really pretty. Speaking of really pretty. Oh, see, I got distracted. Let me share with you. I think there are a few. Yeah. I'm not sure if you're an iris person or not. I think you can appreciate the color of blooms. These are I don't know the name of them, but they always remind me of New Orleans. Look guys, I've been spraying them. The coral bells are starting to come back. They're gonna make a comeback. They're gonna help me make this area look good. But what about some caladiums in there? That would look sharp, right? Okay, let's come around here and look at a little bit more color from these. See the iris right there? There's some yellow ones on the other side that are getting ready to bloom. But look at this as we come through here. Kind of in the view, but look at that red pop through there. If we get a few more, won't that be gorgeous? I'm not sure if that's playing so well with the camera. We'll take one more look. We'll come through this ivory halo dogwood. That's my drink right there. Try not to spill it. But look at this. Okay, friends, you guys have been so helpful and offering me information. What is something that would work right through there? Think about something soft around the wheels of that bike and really make it pop. And when you're thinking about it, what can contrast against that orange bike as well? So we want something to really pop. Maybe it is maybe I put monkey grass. If I put monkey grass, then I'm probably gonna need to take out that lily there so it stands on its own. But I don't think monkey grass is the spot. I don't think that's what it is. And you know what else? The reason why I might not go with monkey grass, I've got some right beside me here, but monkey grass tends to it's the last thing that really comes up in the garden, and I'm looking for exclamation points. I want marks. I want something to really stand tall while everything else is. I'm thinking ajuga, some purple ajuga right through there. Wow. I don't know what's something, guys. It can handle the sun. It can handle no moisture or a little moisture or a lot of moisture. It doesn't matter. At this point now, I want to make this spot right. Okay. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. We enjoy having you here. Say a couple prayers for HeiHei, and we will see you guys on the flip side. Bye-bye now.